बढ़िया. Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji begins a discussion of life and death, not with fear, but with opportunity. Human life is precious because it offers a chance to recognize Vaheguru. Lab churasi John Brahmaya. Gurbani acknowledges this, but then shifts the focus towards liberation through Naam and Hukam. Avagavan refers not only to rebirth, but also to cycles of attachment within life. A Manmukh remains trapped in Maya, while the Gurmukh breaks these cycles through connection with the Guru. Re man asa kar sunasa. True detachment is not leaving the world, but rising above Maya while living within it. This theme becomes powerful in Rag Jajavanti. As someone who plays the rabab, I find this rag striking because its movement feels emotionally unresolved. The jump from pa to re, which helps define the rag, creates a feeling of instability that mirrors the temporary nature of life itself. Rather than teaching people to escape life, Gurbani teaches them to become spiritually awake within life. Kabir manas janam dulamb hai hoi na bare bar, jo ban fal paake poe grehe bahar na lage dar. Human life is priceless. Just as a ripe fruit falls from the tree and never reattaches, this opportunity should not be wasted. Avan jana hukam tasaka. Coming and going exists within hukam. Ultimately, Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji transforms reincarnation from what happens after you die to are you spiritually awake right now? Jo upja so binas hai. Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji teaches that every physical body eventually perishes. Physical death is part of hukam and should not be feared. However, a person may be physically alive yet spiritually dead if trapped in ego, greed, attachment, and forgetfulness of the divine. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji explains, Ejak Supna Baji Bani. The world is portrayed as temporary and dreamlike. Man tu jot sarup hai apna mood pachan. The mind itself is described as divine light. The true tragedy is not physical death, but losing awareness of one's spiritual nature. This distinction matters because Gurbani teaches that while physical death is inevitable, spiritual death is something we have the power to overcome. Social media can create an environment where people constantly compare themselves and seek validation. Personally, I've noticed how easy it is to put out a version of myself that fits a certain image instead of being authentic. When we began shaping our identity around likes, Maya and Homin take over. Gurbani reminds us that true peace only comes when we shift away from temporary recognition and towards Nam. Jivat marata mukat hoy. Liberation comes from not escaping physical death, but overcoming ego while alive. Jivan Mukti in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji refers to a state of spiritual liberation achieved while still alive. A Jivan Mukh remains connected to Nam, accepts hukam, and lives with inner peace and humility without being consumed by Maya. Jaise jal mein kamam niralam mur gai na sarne. Just as the lotus remains untouched by the water around it, a Jivan Mukh lives within society without being controlled by ego, greed, or attachment. Rag Kalyan reflects the essence of Jivan Mukti, living in the world while remaining inwardly peaceful, balanced, and connected to the divine. When I listen to Bani sung in Rag Kalyan, I feel as if the world suddenly stops because of its calmness. Ram Nama Manvasya Asthirya Samaya. When Nam dwells within the mind, spiritual stability is attained. Gurbani teaches that true peace does not come from praise, but from remaining connected with the divine. Every day in our das, we remember the Chali Mukte, but their story carries a deeper meaning. After leaving Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they experience a separation from the path. However, through humility, they returned to Muksar and surrendered their actions to Guruji's hukam. Although their physical lives ended in battle, their spiritual journeys reached liberation. Their story reminds us that Jivan Mukti is not defined by the absence of hardship, but by overcoming the ego that separates us from Vaheguru. Nam and hukam play a central role in how Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji defines spiritual life, reincarnation, and liberation. Gurbani teaches that spiritual death occurs when the mind becomes disconnected from Nam, while spiritual life begins through remembrance of Vaheguru and acceptance of hukam. Bin nave jivan mein. Without Nam, there is no true spiritual life. Nam reconnects the soul to Vaheguru and transforms the way a person lives. In competitive environments, identity easily becomes tied to achievement and comparison. Instead of constantly asking, how successful am I compared to others? Nam shifts the focus towards, am I living with humility, compassion, and spiritual awareness? When I was recently rejected for my school's Model United Nations travel team, I was upset. However, reflecting on Hokam made me realize that while one door may close, another will open. Hokam further teaches us humility by reminding us of our limitations. Rog mitai Prabhu aap, balak rakhe apne kartha. Hokam teaches that peace comes when we trust Vaheguru's wisdom beyond human understanding. Surprisingly, my interest in statistics helped me better understand Hokam. In statistics, patterns and probabilities can be analyzed, but no model can perfectly predict every outcome with certainty. Similarly, Sikhi teaches that human understanding is limited, while Vaheguru's Hokam governs a far greater reality. Lastly, Gurbani teaches that spiritual life requires responsibility and active effort. Man jeete jag jeet. Conquering the mind is conquering the world. Liberation requires simran, seva, and humility. As a Punjabi school assistant teacher, I have gotten to experience how impactful seva can be. Sometimes, helping a student say a single word counts. Experiences like this help me better understand that Sikhi connects personal spiritual growth with collective responsibility. My understanding of reincarnation became much more personal after one of my friends and classmates unexpectedly passed away. She was such a radiant person that I always wondered, did she ever have a bad day? Because no matter what, she brought light to those around her. Her passing was devastating for everyone within my school community, and it reminded us of how temporary life is. Before studying these concepts in Gurbani, I think I would have only viewed the situation through grief and loss. However, learning about Avagavan and Jivan Mukti changed the way I processed it. During that time, I leaned heavily on my Sangat. Our entire school came together to support one another and her family. Guru Sahib teaches, Saad Sangat kaise jane jithe eko naam dikhani. In that moment, I better understood how Sangat helps people carry grief together instead of alone. Her faith in God truly shined through her positive actions and attitude. Something she often said was, after every storm, there is a rainbow. That message reminded me of Jaidikala and how even through hardship, there is liberation. Seeing these qualities reflected in someone I personally knew made the teachings feel far more meaningful to me. Perhaps the greatest lesson I learned is that liberation is not something we wait for. It is something we begin living today. The real question isn't what comes next, but what we're doing with the life we've been given right now. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.